Okay, now time for some more of your questions to my channel. First one comes from Mark Dryden. He says, "Hi, could you please explain how to install the 7X7 expansion pack? I tried to do it, but something went wrong and I had to turn my TR8 turn off my TR8. My driver was 150, but now it's 120. Please could you help me fix this step by step? Thanks." This was actually made quite, the comment on the channel was actually quite a while ago, and I just found a feature on the channel that's actually now telling me all the comments that I've missed, so hopefully I'm catching up with a lot of these. But it was in response to the TR8 installing new firmware 606 upgrade video I did way back in 2017, actually March 2017. Mark, I'm hoping that the issue you had has gone, but for anybody else who tries to install the 7X7 expansion pack, there are a couple of things that are interesting. Obviously, because the 7X7 expansion pack is a separate license, it looks like what Roland did at some point is branch the code. So the firmware seems to have got out of step, so it doesn't sound like the firmware is right when you're looking at the machine itself. Hence the reason why the numbers all go out of a bit out of sync. But it is correct, or it was correct when I did it. And again, I haven't had to update the 7X7 pack since I did the video about how to put the 7X7 pack in, if that makes any sense. But the key thing I did find about installing the 7X7 pack on the TR8 was that the 7X7 pack, the sounds or the drums and instruments for the 7X7 didn't appear on the TR8 until I did a factory reset. As soon as I did the factory reset, everything went back to normal. All the new sounds appeared, but of course all the sound banks that have been created were wiped out. So be prepared. If you're going to do the upgrade, you're probably going to end up losing everything that's on the TR8, so back it up before you do the upgrade. Hopefully that's helped. This has got to be one of the best names on YouTube. SP404 Hyper Noddy Q Sound Junkie. Brilliant. Hats off to you. Love it. This was in response to an SMR I did, YouTube Narratives Kordbot, back in sort of July 2018. So this is to do with the Kordbot, and it says, "I ordered mine back in December. I'm beyond patient. How long did it take you to receive your Kordbot after they notified you that you had a shipping label and it was finally created? They sent me notice about 3 weeks ago. Does this mean they had just started building it, and I'll have to wait another quarter of a year before they ship it out?" Look, the thing about Isla Instruments is that it is a small enterprise. It's being run by a guy called Brad. He is one of these guys who has very, very grand ideas for these music projects, but they are a small outfit, and he tends to build the Kordbots in batches. So if you watch his Instagram channel or his Facebook feed, you'll see that he's currently in the process of building the next batch of Kordbots. So I think what he does is he waits till the orders are built up, and then he will build a batch to supply all the Kordbots that have been ordered up until that point. Now, I had to wait quite a long time for mine. I think I ordered mine around about Christmas, and it took all the way through to the summer before they arrived. Now, I was one of the early batches, so when Brad did the Kickstarter, I put my order in at that point, so I was one of the early ones. I had to wait 6 months. I think in general he tends to build on a quarterly basis, so the longest you're going to have to wait is about a quarter. But if you have received a shipping label, it's on its way. Okay, next one. Isidore Isabel. Interesting. This one says, "I have always kept with the EMU and Sonics, and do still have 2 E4 Ultras and 2 EPS 16s, plus powered up. Although they are now all well now catered for with modern SCSI solutions for these old dears, it would have been nice to have a USB option that the Akai provided. So this was in response to when I bought my S6000. I'm really not using my S6000 if I'm brutally honest, but when I bought my S6000, one of the things I did before I sort of all racked it up and put it into the studio, because once it's racked, it's a real faff to try and get it out, is I put in the USB card for it. And that was just to purely allow me to communicate with the PC or the Mac using USB, so I could move things around. Yes, USB is lovely. I have to be honest and say USB is a very easy way to move files on and off of the unit, and I can understand why you're sort of talking about SCSI. Now I think about SCSI in a very interesting way, because I've just had to go and buy, and it's sitting down here funny enough, things like termination units for one of my pieces of equipment, because unfortunately it didn't properly terminate the SCSI connection, so I've now had to sort of go and buy a couple of terminators to get the thing working. So SCSI was really great in its time, but now trying to find parts, it's a pain. But keep going with the E4 Ultras and the EPS 16 Pluses, because these are old pieces of kit. If you don't look after them, and if you're not caring for them, if you're not using them, and if you're not fanatical about them, they will fall into disrepair, and then they will end up being ripped apart and sold for spares on something like Centaur. Not that Centaur is a bad place, because you get lots of spares there. The next one's from Damio Pistola. I think I've got that right. I apologise, I am the world's worst for pronouncing people's names. Asked somebody I was in a meeting with last week, I kept getting his name wrong, and it was only about halfway through the meeting. He said, "You do realise you pronounce my name like this?" Oops, my bad. Hi, if you connect the TB3 with powered bus USB 3 in, you don't need to use the AC adapter. And this was to do with a video I did on System 1 factory resetting the Roland System 1. And I think I made some comments, and this chap, I'm assuming it's a guy, has commented a couple of times on a couple of videos about the USB 3. Now, it's very true, the MX-1 does have USB 3, which has power on it. It has 4 USB inputs, but only one is powered. And you can run the TB3 off it, so that's fair enough. One of the things I will say, it's a shame that they didn't put power on all of them. I've always said that about the MX-1. Roland, when are you going to actually do something about the MX-1 power bus? But we'll come around to that at some point. But I think that probably half the reason why is because the power supply for the MX-1 is just not beefy enough to actually give enough push for multiple units being connected. If you go and look at the boutique stuff is all rated at 0.5 milliamp. The TR8 is rated at nearly 2,000 milliamps. The MX1 only has a power supply capable of supplying 2,000 milliamps, so it's only going to power a very small subset of pieces of equipment if you assume that the MX1 needs about 1,000 milliamps to work. So there you go. That's probably the reason why, but it is a pain, and Roland really should have done something about it when they started integrating other instruments onto the MX1 platform. Remember, hit that like button if you like what you saw. Subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon to be notified about more rants, more mailbag, more questions and answers, and more videos about this sort of stuff when it's loaded to the channel. Until next time, bye bye.